Are you serious? Are you serious? Folks, I just want to say we're just devastated by this horrific situation that's happened with this Malaysian airplane. Now, this is Malaysian Flight 17. It left Amsterdam, headed for Malaysia. As it's flying over Russia, near the Russian, actually over Ukraine, near the Ukrainian-Russian border, this Boeing 777, the exact same type plane, that Malaysian airplane that was lost, that we've never found, that was apparently hijacked or whatever. Another Boeing 777. It was shot out of the sky from a surface-to-air missile. And all 295 people on board are dead. I have seen the pictures of the wreckage, the body parts. I've seen the bodies. This is a horrific scene. Now, immediately the Ukrainian president went on television and said, "We didn't do this. We don't have a system that could shoot an airplane out of the sky 33,000 feet in the air. Ukraine government did not do this." Russia, of course, it's either Russia or the Russian rebels. And the Russian rebels 3 days ago bragged that they had a system that could do it. The rebels here claim to have shot down a Ukrainian transport plane and that 4 crew members had been captured. This was on July 14th. Pro-Russian separatists in eastern Ukraine have claimed responsibility for shooting down a Ukrainian military transport plane and say 4 crew members have been taken prisoner. Russia's Interfax news agency on Monday quoted separatists in the rebel-held city. They're in Ukraine, saying the captives are in the border town, undergoing interrogation. So details of the shootdown were not clear as of late Monday, but the Ukrainian Defense Ministry said 8 people were on board the craft. Obviously 4 of them must be dead and 4 of them been taken. They were carrying food and drinking water to personnel in the area. All right? So we know the Russian separatists had the capability. They admit they had the capability. They admit they shot down a plane. Now, I had Mike from around the world on my broadcast just for a few moments today on our live broadcast. I asked him who had the capability to do this. He said the Russian separatist rebels have the system. They acquired it. It's called a Russian Bulk, B-U-K, Russian Bulk missile defense system. It is a surface-to-air system that has the capability to hit a target as high as 82,000 feet in the air. This plane was 33,000 feet, a Boeing 777 traveling about 500 miles an hour. So they did have this ability to do this. But so does Russia, because Russia's the one that gave them the system. But there is one other possibility. So does NATO. Star Wars, the missile defense system that Ronald Reagan put in that exact area as well, to protect Poland, to protect Ukraine, some of the other smaller countries in Europe from a Russian attack or a Russian invasion. So they also have capabilities. Well, but what's the motivation? There wouldn't really be any. There was also Americans on this flight. I have 2 rumors. One is there's 23 Americans on the flight. Another report is there were 10 Americans on this flight. Don't know yet. I've seen a lot of dead bodies and a lot of body parts. It is a horrific scene on the ground there in Ukraine. The plane did come down less than 60 kilometers from the Russian border. Now, Russia is scrambling. President Obama is just saying he don't know who did this. He's just trying to figure out how many Americans were on the plane, waiting for more information. I asked, there's a report by Russia Today, and that report says that President Vladimir Putin had an airplane in the sky flying over that area, and it's possible that Ukraine might have shot a missile trying to kill Putin. Now, and here's the report right here, Russia Today. President Putin's plane might have been the target for a Ukrainian missile. The problem with this report is Ukraine doesn't have this system to do this. They don't have this capability, but NATO does. Would NATO wanted to assassinate Putin? Or is Putin lying? Did Putin even have a plane in the sky? Or is this a Russian diversion to take the heat off Vladimir Putin and Russia? Whether Russia shot this plane out of the sky or whether the Russian rebels shot out of the sky, doesn't matter. It still falls back on the hands of Vladimir Putin. But did NATO do it? I did a poll on my live broadcast with 1,000 people, and it was about 33% across the board. 33% felt Russia did it. 33% felt the Russian rebels did it. And 33% felt NATO, using the Star Wars system, did it. Unbelievable that was about how the polling went. That was with 1,000 people from all over the world, different nations that were logged into my broadcast. So I just want to share that with you, as shows you people are really confused, and that's what war is all about, folks, confusion. And matter of fact, this is such a diversion and a tragedy, and I pray for the families of these 295 victims. But as the world tries to figure out this horrific story, there's another war going on in the Middle East. Israel is under attack, not only by Hamas out of Gaza, but they have been fired on from Egypt by the Muslim Brotherhood out of the Sinai. They have been fired on by the Hamas out of southern Lebanon. And they've been fired on by President Assad and his group out of Syria through the Golan Heights. And while the world looks this way, you might have a major conflict take place between Israel and Hamas. As a matter of fact, Israel might even decide that they have to preemptively go in a ground invasion and get rid of Hamas and mop it up. Then again, there's ISIS. They might seize this opportunity to go ahead and just go rushing. They're already in Syria. They got a big, they control about a third of Syria already. They could actually just go rushing toward the border of Israel, come right through Syria since they're there, and make an offensive attack. Remember, they've got a lot of leftover hardware that the United States and the Obama administration left in Iraq. They've got $2 billion in cash. So this is a very dangerous situation. I'm sharing with you all the scenarios, the facts, and according to Bible prophecy, you have to watch the Bear of the North, which is, of course, Russia. Russia is also labeled as one of the 5 nations in the Fab Five that will come against Israel. Russia's already got an alliance with Iran, helping them build their nuclear capabilities. Russia's already supporting Assad. They've kept him tucked away up there in Syria for whatever area he does control. Russia's built an alliance with Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. And Iran is the one supplying Hamas with the weapons from Iran. So Russia is involved. But so is America, because we see a passive aggressiveness by the American Obama administration to seem to be passive and sit on their hands while Israel constantly is being bombarded. And we don't see America really coming to their aid, just sitting back and saying, please, let's have peace. Please, let's have peace. Well, folks, there is no peace. Remember, they tried for 9 months to do a peace agreement. The Bible said, when they say peace and safety, then cometh sudden destruction. And that's exactly what we have. Pray, please, for the situations developing around the world and the slaughter of innocent people in Iraq by ISIS. I've seen videos of that sent to me today privately on my email. Horrific scenes of citizens being murdered in cold blood by ISIS. I'm Pastor Paul Begley. I'm in prayer.